I am not your. You are my. Autobiographical stories written and performed by students from Center High School. Hello, my name is Graham Mahana, and I'm the theater instructor at Center High School. I'd like to say a few words before you listen to this program's content. I promise I won't take too much of your time. After all, you didn't choose to listen to this podcast to hear my soothing, dulcet tones. In a normal school year, the senior thespians who are involved in our theater troupe, Players 58, mount their senior-directed one-acts. Because of COVID restrictions, the podcast you are currently listening to was going to be this year's one-acts. However, as with most things during this year, things changed, and often outside of our control. This project started as a writing exercise where students would complete a set of 2 creative writing pieces, one ending with the phrase, I am not your, and another ending with, you are my. While students began writing, it became very evident that this was much bigger and important than I had initially anticipated. So big that the option of performing was open to any student, regardless of whether or not they were seniors or in Players 58. The performances you are about to hear feature stories and emotions that are, in some cases, the first time the performers have expressed them publicly. Some of these stories may be difficult to listen to. Some of them are devastatingly sad, others joyful and happy, while others are proudly defiant. Regardless of the theme, they are important and need to be heard. On behalf of the Center High School Fine Arts Department and Players 58, we hope you enjoy the following production.
Poem about poems.
Step 1. Brainstorm. Collect random ideas from social media, television, or something from a billboard out in the middle of nowhere. Apply those fallen off the back of a truck ideas and find some vague and inconspicuous way to connect them. Now clench your teeth and bite your tongue as you struggle for validation. Step 2. Write. Grab that stick with the little rock and let it flow, jumping through the tides of each paper, soaring high at the end of the page. Let that red string find its way around every single one of your thumbtacks on that thought board. Find some ways to creatively blend rhetoric, specifically to knock your English teacher's socks off. Alternatively, you could be straightforward. Begin aptly alliterating any ample sentences with an astoundingly abundant amount of words that additively amplify the annoyance of said alliteration. The most important part of this step is to put yourself into your writing. Make it feel like it's living, breathing extension of yourself. Something you've nurtured over time. Something new. Be proud of it. Regardless of the inferiority you have shallow yourself whole, as if some deserving cannibalism. Be proud. Don't let them see the monstrous hatred inside of you. We are often told there will always be someone better, but that works both ways. Consider this. We will always be better than someone. And for those of you listening that have paid close attention, you have noticed I've included a simile, a metaphor, a hyperbole, personification, a euphemism, an anaphora, and the most obvious alliteration. Step 3. The hardest step. Verbalize it. Let the words jump off the page. Allow them to flow into others' ears rather than their eyes. Play with your cadence, your nuances, tone. Let the listener feel your work. Let it resonate in their eardrum over and over, leaving them in awe. Giving them that longing, aching feeling you can't get rid of yourself. Let them always feel like they're catching up after being stuck on each amazing thing. This artwork is living. Give it a voice like the voice you've always wanted. Step 4. The final step. Finish. Take this to a close. Deliver that final message. Tell them distinctly and precisely the meaning. I guess what I've been trying to say is, you, your family, your friends, me. we all can be poets.
To all of the good girls who can relate.
Who am I to you? A good girl? Goody two-shoes? Follows all the rules? Couldn't break a rule if I wanted to. Let me correct this major misconception. What you see on the daily isn't a reality, at least not always. Dressed and ready for the day, she's alert, wide awake, punctual, perfect eye contact, participates, good grades, GPA goes without saying, polite smile and wave. But then she gets that dreaded question. How are you feeling? How am I feeling? How do I feel? But I can't tell the truth because they'll show concern and tell me, oh, I've been there too. Hang in there, a change is coming soon. So she says, I'm doing good. You? You just gotta get through the day. It'll be over soon. Not soon enough, but soon. The thing about good girls, we're put on a pedestal. Everyone thinks this makes us carefree. How wrong are thee? If you don't remember anything, remember this. Pay attention, because I'm not repeating. Stop. Stop picking on her because she behaves. Don't assume she's nothing but happy. Don't show pity. It's unbecoming. You don't know what happens behind closed doors. Unless you've been in her shoes, don't say you were late. When they happen, don't point out her every mistake. Good girls make mistakes, feel pain, they cry, they stress, feel pressure, are allowed to scream, stay up nights and mornings, even all day to achieve. When she smiles, some days she's faking it. I'm not your perfect cookie cutter. I'm not your goody two-shoes. I am human. I am not your disillusioned image you drew of me.
I am not your survivor.
You have hurt me, you have scarred me. You have bruised me till I bled. My emotions are unconscious and my heart is numb. The tears have stained my face with scars that will never disappear. The pain that you have caused me, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Somehow the scripture says I should forgive you for what you did, but even to this day I cannot find any light in the tunnel of darkness you dug. The scars you gave me those many years ago have healed, the bruises have lost their color, and my emotions are alive and well. Every now and then I find myself back in that tunnel full of shadows and pain. But now I see light at the end. I see a future full of light. I see a future full of color and happiness. The tunnel will always be there, but with time I might never return. I will say one thing to all of those years of hate and sorrow. I am not your survivor.
I am not your rose.
Beautiful is what you keep saying to me. Amazing is what you keep calling me. Perfect is how you describe me. But I'm not. Soft as my skin to you, tall and mighty is how you look at me. A beautiful scarlet color is how you picture me. But I'm not. Bright like the sun in the sky, as mighty as the morning bird's song, courageous as a mountain lion. But I'm not. I think and think and think as the world flies by. Day and night, I will stand wondering and waiting. Will it ever be the same? Will you ever change? So I wait. And wait. And wait some more. I get plucked one day. I sit in a jar, waiting for water, waiting for nourishment. But I'm slowly looked upon. Nothing more. You see me as your muse. You see me as your sunshine. You see me as your delicate flower. But I'm not your rose.
I'm not your friend.
The truth is whatever you want it to be. You can only fake it for so long. It's not fair that I pick people like you. Those who only want to control me. I got blinded by your beauty. I thought you were perfect. But there is no perfect. Looking back, I see it all. Blinding me with your perspective, blinding me with your options. You don't get to control me anymore. I only stick around for a little until I realize you don't get to be the queen of everything. Putting me down to put yourself up, but subtle enough for no one to notice. Pretending there's no gravity in what you said. I hope you see your true self one day. Maybe in another life we would have never been friends. I would have stayed the admirer. Watching from afar, just a silent stranger, never getting deep enough to see the nasty human being. The argument that ended it all. You don't get to focus on me and ignore what you did. That doesn't make what you did disappear. You liar. It's been a long time now and we've both moved on. It looks as if you're happier than you've ever been. But I know you. You post when you're sad. Because how dare you take time for yourself? You can't get under your skin anymore. I hope you enjoy life. Watching as we grow up, losing people who realize their worth, they will all see, and you will be all alone. Still playing the victim like a 5-year-old who can't see the whole perspective. You can't always be the victim, sweetie. Some will believe what you say, and some will see through you. I'm finding myself and you hate it. I'm not your friend.
You are my happy pills.
Didn't think I needed you. Thought it was a unnecessary, fruitless addiction. Didn't think you would help me at all. Thought it was a double-edged sword, constant, unpleasant infliction. I see you, and I fall. Heard what you could do. The benefits, symptoms, risk of retraction. I wanted you, and I'm falling. I know what you'll do. The stimulants, the long term, couldn't help the attraction. I got you, and I've fallen. Felt what you have done. The happy, the sad, the compulsion. Didn't think I needed you. Thought I wouldn't fall. Didn't think you would help. Thought I wouldn't love at all. Falling, Now I can't think at all. You are my heart, my addiction, constant infliction, my attraction. I know how it feels. Oh, the sinking regret, 'cause I know that it kills. You are my happy pills.
I am not your vase.
A small crack, an old chip in the side, accepted as part of life, normalized through time, never really coming to terms with it, just accepting that it's there. Revival, reoccurring events that trigger expansion, bringing back old memories pushed to the side, forgotten. Time slows, the chip expanding, reaching to every crevice, leaving no spot untouched, no tear unshed. It spreads, slowly at first, then accelerating as it sinks deeper into the walls, broken, left on the ground in pieces, nowhere to go but forward. Reunification, coming back together, scarred but whole, shattered yet intact, damaged but even more beautiful than before. I am stronger. I am not your vase.
Platonic soulmates.
I started off shy and alone in this world. I would spend years searching and searching for a friend, someone who would just listen, someone who wouldn't leave me like the others. Then your lights appeared before me. You blinded me like the sun with your golden hair, a smile that has helped me find compassion in others. You showed me kindness with your honey brown eyes, and spotted my interest with your many small freckles. You've seen me go through fiery storms and walked me through the flowery fields. I've lost many, but I've never lost the two of you. Not in this maze of a world. Even though we can't always help another, or know exactly what to say, we love each other just the same. You are my platonic soulmates, till death do us part.
You are my little blue flower.
Losing you is something I didn't think would happen. Being pulled aside and being told by somebody other than you, no hug, no remorse. It's okay though. I know he was sad too. He was hurting as much as I was, if not worse. Then it was like a movie. I couldn't stop seeing your face, thinking of the last time that I saw you, what I said, how you'd remember me. Did you think about me? I didn't think it was that bad. I cried for days, like I lost you. But I didn't. I got to laugh with you, draw with you, and talk with you. Then we got put into quarantine, and I didn't get to see you as much. I didn't see you. We didn't talk as much. I think I finally understand your struggle, that feeling, the sadness that you feel like nothing will fix. We lived on until you call and I finally get the chance to really save you. No tears this time, not until I see that doctor admit you. Once you get out, you said you were better. Then a month later, you go back. That was so fast. I want to help. The world sees so much beauty and grace and light in you. Why do you feel such darkness? It's not fair. I want to help you, but I can't. The mental game is winning and you are recovering slower. I'm here. I hope you hear me when I say that. And when I make plans for our future. Tiny blue flowers remind me of you. Like the little ones you drew on my notes. I hope you decide to stay long enough to fight and win. I believe you can. But I won't be mad at you if it's the only way that you can find peace. You are my little blue flower.
We are not your inferiors.
Even though you're tired, energy wells up inside like a ball of fire burning in your chest. It builds and builds until you can't hold it in anymore. You lose control. You watch. You're watching from inside a cage. You can't sense what you're doing until it's too late. You're clueless. Clueless to your own action, trapped, stuck inside a shell of torment. Embarrassment. Every thought you have becomes public, every secret common knowledge. You reach out a hand to grab your words, but they slip through your fingers like water. People look down at you, like a child who doesn't know better, but you do know better. You just can't do better. You have no control. You shrivel inside, accepting your place as the person who knows no control, the person that is to be looked down upon and mocked. This is our experience. But we are just as good as them, just as smart, just as considerate. It is not our fault. It is not the fault of our parents. We are not the lesser ones. We are better. We are stronger. We are not your inferiors.
I am not your therapist.
I'm not your therapist. And you took the strength for me to say it. I was born in the lounge chair, pad and pen in hand. The ink, the tears of my father when he said he loved her. Instead, the pad, stiff and cold. When I said to my mom I was scared of my head. We're all wired weird, my dear. Red flags only look like flags in rose-colored glasses, so here's a pair. One we can share, and then you'll never be scared. That was her advice. And now I'm drowning in paper cuts. You were my friend, and you saw those cuts on my hand, and you promised you'd never cut me deeper, yet you locked me in this room with the time being counted. Stupidly, you gave me the key to see. This clock, the ticking, it's killing me, and I'm sick of these glasses. Rose was never my color anyway, and I never signed up to be your therapist.
I am not your sister.
Realizing you held too much power over my emotions was difficult. Realizing you weren't the ideal role model was worse. Realizing that your mind was like a plague that I caught was sickening. Realizing we were one of the same was a curse. I wonder if you remember, and your words were just lies. I wonder if you feel any pain from the pain you see in my eyes. Accepting that my memories are trustworthy is difficult. Accepting that you would never admit it is worse. Accepting that distance is the medicine I need is sickening. Accepting that confliction is a part of healing is a curse. I wonder if I will ever forgive you, and if I'll get my closure. I wonder if you're waiting to hear the words I scream at you silently, the words that I would say to you every day, these words that I am not your sister.
You are my sword.
The waiting game. The constant fear. The constant worry. Will I ever be good enough? Will it be better this way or that? Life becomes like a coin toss. Constant guessing game. Your mood is different every day. I can never tell how you want things done. I want to make you happy. I want to bring you joy. But it's never right. To know that either way I go, something is wrong. Something isn't right. A feeling. A painful feeling hits me every time a choice is made. What did I do wrong? What can I do to change it? But there is nothing. Everything is wrong for you. You are my double-edged sword.
You are my rock.
I look at your pasts and I see pain and hardship. I listen as you tell stories of overcoming obstacles and beating the odds. I open my ears to your wisdom and expose my heart to your words. As I sit here wondering how you did it, I understand that it's in our blood. We have no excuse but to fight. There is no justification for weakness. You were there for me when I was broken. You picked up my pieces and put me back together. I am who I am today as a whole because of your hard work. Your luminescent hearts brighten the way through my dark reality. Your smiles warm my heart when I am feeling cold with grief. I love your hugs and how they seem to thaw my inner being. Your undying love is the one constant in my life, the one thing I can rely on when nothing makes sense. My dark thoughts and pessimistic words will never penetrate your tenderness and devotion. You are the inspiration to my happiness. You are the glue that holds my broken heart together. You are my rock.
Dear negativity.
Dear negativity, I need to tell you something. I'm done. All my life, you've held me captive. I'm ready to be released. People don't know it when they look at me, but I'm hurting. The devil's been busy attacking my family and me. You've seeped into my brain and made me think I'm not enough for anyone or me. You've brought people I love to hurt me, and you've used me too. I've cried myself to sleep, felt constant loneliness, and tried to be what others wanted me to be. Eventually, I accepted you and used you as a cloak to make excuses for not stepping into my blessings. But enough is enough. I now realize you will always be near me, but I have a choice in my reaction to your plots against me. It's time for me to grasp the blessings God has for me. I'm going to start loving every inch of me. Do you hear me, negativity? I'm manifesting and declaring. I've been stepping out of my comfort zone. This letter here is proof. Everyone now knows I'm over you. But if it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't be growing. Despite everything, you are my blessing in disguise.
I am not your daughter.
The bows in my hair have been ripped and mangled. Dresses have been muddied and the rosy pigment is starting to fade. Every second of my childhood was covered in pink. You forced all my trauma to be covered in blush. The tint bleeds into my fears. It covered the walls of my bedroom, quickly becoming my Barbie asylum. I hate the color pink, and worst of all is you supplement your neglect with false understanding.
My name leaves your mouth and it gives me a bitter aftertaste. It makes my skin crawl with goosebumps all over my body. I would rather be called anything else. I'd rather be called dumbass, snowflake, pathetic, anything but that god-awful sound. I found a new one, hoping to receive comfort, but all words have fallen on deaf ears, and you still shout for a girl who has been long gone.
You fetishized my first prom dress, a long, shiny dress that matches my boyfriend's. I never wanted this. I just smiled and stayed silent. I wanted to get rid of all my skirts and trade them in for ties and jackets. No more bright shirts and leggings or shorts that barely fit. I reached out for a male shirt and you yelled, "That's a boy's shirt." You say that inanimate objects have no gender. So why the double standard?
I question why you think you know me better than myself. I never liked the color pink, or my name, or skirts or leggings, nor did I ask to be born this way. But that's the point. I was born this way. I smiled and stayed silent for you, because above all else, I just wanted you to love me unconditionally. But I'm not the baby girl you so deeply wanted, and I'm not confused. You never lost a child. I'm just not your daughter.
For Pops.
7 years too long. You woke me up with Tom Joyner and put me to bed in Spider-Man sheets. You showed me a world that you controlled at the palm of your hands and made cinema in the living room with the click of a button. You drilled me into my academics because you knew I could go far, because you knew the world would be cruel to us. You'd make funny dances that were better than Michael Jackson's, and you showed me martial arts techniques that you could never do again because you'd end up ripping your pants. You wielded the mighty Excalibur and hung it as a trophy. And you showed me the tranquility that came with fishing the waters. Your snores would make the biggest mountains shake with ease. And you even gave me the power to control multiple worlds I couldn't even fathom with a simple joystick. I remember delicious sandwiches you made that Mom hated because you didn't like cooking. You did all these wonderful things and planted such a strong foundation to make me who I am. And yet I'm grasping at the sound of your voice, only remembering the cold granite placed on top. How could I not remember everything you've done for me? How could I forget the face of my favorite superhero? I'm not your son.
I am not your. You are mine. This has been a Center Fine Arts Department and Players 58 recording. Thank you for listening.